Boston's #1 for new hit country.
Country 102.5.
Yeah, there's something in the water on the shores of Muscle Shoals. So I moved down south where they still play rock and roll. I moved south where the grass is green. I moved south where my friends take care of me.
Hello, everyone. Renee Castle here, and welcome to Studio 102.5. So excited. We have such an amazing treat for you today. We have a group who Rolling Stone Country recently named one of the top 10 new country acts to watch. So let's give it up for Delta Rae.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, y'all, so much. We are Delta Rae. We're from Durham, North Carolina. And we're going to start out by singing you a song by one of our favorite bands of all time.
We'll go to any city where they still play rock and roll. Then we go back home where the sweet magnolias grow. I moved south where the grass is green. I moved south.
Could you tell us a little bit about your connection to New England?
That's right. Our parents just bought a house in Rockport a couple years ago, and it's been really fun because we get dispatches from them every once in a while when they're up there telling us how it's like the best place on earth and they've never been happier. And the funny thing is that their other house is in Raleigh, where we live, so it's only mildly insulting. But we've had the great luck of being able to come up here a couple times and visit, and have just been so taken with Rockport and the Bay Area up there. And it's really neat because my dad used to spend summers there as a kid, and so it's got a real kind of family legacy, and we've just been really thrilled to get to know it in the last couple of years.
We've been hearing about it since we were really little. And now it feels we've also always loved coming up to Boston as a band. That there was an early city to sort of understand us, and be amazing. And so it's really nice to call a slice of Massachusetts home,
and just have an excuse to come up here more often.
Yeah, exactly.
Love like ours ain't a masterpiece. It's a good day in the sun. I was born to love you. Out where the water is wide. Make me a country bride.
Now, you all formed in 2009. And I know that one of the collaborations you did at one point was with Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac. And I was just wondering how that came about.
Well, we've had a lot of really pinch yourself moments in the course of our career so far. One of which was we recorded a song called If I Loved You. And we were actually in the middle of a tour when we were recording it in LA. And it's a bit of an anticlimactic story, but it was still incredible for us because we were on tour. We had recorded the bulk of the song, but something was missing on the recording of If I Loved You. And while we were away from tour, none other than Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac had visited the studio, asked our producer, Rob Cavallo, what he was working on. Rob played him If I Loved You. Lindsey picked up a 12-string guitar called a Griffin, which is about half the size of this guitar. And he was just sitting on the couch in the back room of the studio listening, and he just started noodling over the song. Rob turned around, he's like, Lindsey, that sounds great. Can we just put you in the booth real quick and record that? By the time we got home from tour, we got to LA, Rob surprised us. He's like, oh, did anybody tell you who's on the track? I don't know if you guys have heard of Fleetwood Mac. And we were like, okay, what are you about to say?
I literally light my shrine candles to Stevie Nicks every night, and I was like, what?
So then he's like, well, Lindsey was over here the other day, and he played guitar on your song, and we just couldn't speak for probably an hour. It was amazing. And then we had
wait, Lindsey Buckingham, you're saying?
Yeah.
Wait, so you're talking about he did that?
So then we had the real weird moment, and we should not have had this moment, but we were like, oh my God, I hope we like what he recorded. Because we had never heard it. And so then we all went into the studio and they played it, and it was just phenomenal because he's incredible. So we never got to meet him. But we hope to, and we've exchanged letters, and hopefully we'll.
To love you, out where the water is wide. So make me a country bride.
Now, speaking of collaborations, and there's several of you, so I was just wondering any dream collaborations that you all would love to, anyone you'd really like to work with.
Wow, that's a great question.
I've got an answer.
Go for it.
We had this. We saw Zach Brown play in Australia during a blues fest, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of shows, but that show was just electric. And I think in terms of live performances, that's sort of what we're now aspiring to do, is put on a show like he put on. So collaborating with Zach Brown would be amazing.
I think Zach Brown Band and Delta Ray both need more people on
Yeah,
stage.
let's
so
let's have a 30
That's
a
the
30
feedback.
person
We're small bands. so.
jam sesh.
yeah, it's always so. It's a tough question because people always say like you don't ever want to meet your heroes because of course you've got them built up in your mind as like, but we keep meeting our heroes, and they keep being amazing. So I feel like the sky's the limit. I want to collaborate with all of the people that I love. James Taylor, fellow Carolina boy, would be amazing.
To heal me under a velvet skirt, cattails dancing in the light.
I'm curious, out of all of you, it could be collaboratively or individually, something that would surprise the listeners to know about you.
Ooh. I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say it. No one's going to like this. I'm going to tell everybody a secret. We love Cracker Barrel. And when we go into
That's not the
Cracker
secret.
Barrel.
We're proud of that.
Yeah, that part's, we wear that on our sleeves. When we go into Cracker Barrel, we enter an alternate world. It's an 1850s Western town that we call Baskerville. And we all have our roles in Baskerville.
People aren't surprised to learn this about us. I'm surprised that we told you. So there's that.
Never gonna look at Cracker Barrel the same way again.
You can just all start calling it Baskerville because it's a pretty good name.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much again for being here. Love it if you just kind of introduce yourself for the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Eric.
My name's Brittany.
My name's Liz.
And I'm Ian.
And,
And
we're
we're
Delta
Delta
Ray.
Ray.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank you.